Hello, my beautiful diamonds. This is part 2 of The Price and the Silent Pain of Motherhood and Ungrateful Children. This is part 2. I hope you saw part 1. I'm just showing you, how you have a lot of the mothers. They always blame the mother. It's always the mother's fault, honey. Men treat them badly. It's the mother's fault. They didn't fit in. They wanted a group of peers that they wanted to fit in and they didn't fit in. It's the mother's fault. People treat them badly. It's always you. Here we go, honey. Child, please.
Can we talk for... Are you struggling with your adult child's behavior? Listen up. I'm here to remind you to let go of the guilt. I know it's hard, but you gotta let go of it. You did the best you can do with the tools that you had. It is what it is. Ain't no need of dwelling on it. You can take accountability for your role in their dysfunction. But here...
Honey, I've been in and out of therapy. I have it documented with me giving my children a heartfelt, sincere apology. I have it documented, all of the since their love language is words of affirmation. I would love to share the texts that I've sent to them. Nothing but blowing them up. Nothing but praise, applause. You're great. You're wonderful. You're so smart. You're brilliant.
The kicker. Managing their behavior is not your responsibility. Say it with me. Managing their behavior is not your responsibility. If you want to have a relationship with your child, which most of us do, right? Some of us, you've got to set boundaries. Don't parent out of guilt either. Remember, you did the best you could do with the tools that you had. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty about that. Are you struggling with your adult child?
It's true. They don't think about you going through menopause. They don't think about you have endometriosis. They don't think about you suffering with depression and you got issues that you're dealing with. Oh, they don't care. But the moment they start going through menopause, the world is supposed to stop. We're all supposed to be understanding. How understanding were you? They don't care about what the mother is suffering with. They don't care. You're my mother. You're supposed to be perfect. That's it.
99% of the people.
Can we talk for a minute about emerging adult and adult children who bully their parents? Because this is a thing. This is happening a lot. And it's keeping parents in dysfunctional, unhealthy, enabling patterns. Because they realize at this point, they can't control their kids.
You can't.
And their kids keep coming back at them.
I don't want to control them. They're grown. I want control of my life. I don't want to take no control. I don't want to have to babysit. I don't want to have to keep coddling you with these, validate me, please, validate me. Tell me that I can't feel good about myself. I can't feel good about myself unless you validate. Everybody got to validate me. Agree with me. You're not allowed to disagree. That's their boundary. You're not allowed to feel differently. You're not allowed to, don't you ever disagree, child, because now you're argumentative. I was like, this is crazy.
Saying, I'm in this spot because you were a shitty parent. And the parents believe it. And they continue to act.
I don't believe it. My daughter tells me you wasn't a good mother. No, you're right. Finally, she told the truth. I was a great mother. You're right. Putting up with something like her, this girl, we called her Mouth Almighty. Challenge everything you say. You tell her it's black, no, it's white. She wants to challenge everything. And I give my kids freedom of speech. Without communication, you don't have no real relationship. But this girl, man, I had to one day actually call the police. I said, if you don't come here and get her, I'm a killer. I'm a herder. Because when people provoke you, she's good at that. She provokes people.
Yes, to unhealthy situations because on some level, they fear that they're going to be disconnected from their kids. They feel guilty because likely they weren't the perfect parent. You made mistakes.
That's right.
I made mistakes.
Yes.
You need to own up to those mistakes and those things that you didn't know back then that you wish you would have done differently. But stop letting them project onto you instead of taking responsibility for their lives at this point.
Thank you.
Can we talk for a minute about emerging adult and adult children who...
That's what I'm trying to say. Because of what these men did to them, their peers did to them, they're going to take it out on you. It's because of you. You're a toxic mother. You ain't no good. You suck. Well, I'm just going to suck, hon. Okay, here's a next message from another parent.
Okay. My message tonight to all of my parents that are dealing with the grown children who have gone no contact, the message is to stop. We're going to stop. Right now, we're going to stop. We're going to stop crying over it. We're going to stop worrying about it. We're going to stop stressing over it. We're going to stop getting angry over it. We're going to stop analyzing it. And we need to stop reliving it. Let's just let it go. Just let it go. If it was meant to be, it will be. And the one thing that I have learned in the past 2-3 weeks is we have to keep living our lives.
That's right.
We have to keep pushing through every day.
You know what I come to realize, once you get in your 50s, your 60s, your 50s and 60s, you come to realize these are my last good years. Before I'm something like 80 years old or 70 and in a wheelchair, whatever, walkie and all of this. These are your last good years, and the last thing you want to do is have a bunch of ungrateful adult children beating you over your head with the past instead of them following Philippians chapter 3. Let go of the past if you want to make it to the finish line. Let it go. Instead of taking all these trips, put your money into therapy. Prayer, Bible study. But they can't study the Bible because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore. What kind of Christians is this? We can't study the Bible together because you're not a Jehovah's Witness. I'm a Christian. Last time I checked, I believe in Jehovah, don't you? Yes. I follow Jesus, do you? No, they follow the governing body. I mean, you're not even allowed to do spiritual things together. When you leave this organization, this is where my problem is, the root for my family. This is why we'll never, that's the problem. Will they ever admit it? Will they do research? I send them information. I can send them information, videos, everything. They won't even look at it. They won't even look at it. And then you want me to go back into therapy again? I'm not doing it. Why would I do that? We have to talk about this Jehovah's Witness nonsense. That's the root of our problems.
Life is too short.
Hello.
We cannot continue to put ourselves through hell. God bless you all, and hang in there.
Yeah, girl.
Okay.
Child, please. Here we go, my darlings.
I just want to talk to the parents. And not the parents who, my children are perfect. They don't do no wrong. I have the best children in the world. Not y'all. Congratulations, but not y'all. I want to talk to the parents who has sacrificed so much, went without, made changes in their life to have a better life for their children, tried to make sure their children had a better life than they had, and were still disappointed. I could have been popping this pee on a handstand. I could have had a rotation of men in and out, coming and blowing my back out. I could have been on that Molly Percocet diet.
Hello.
But I chose to make so many changes in my life and be this type of person. I didn't want my children to grow up with the same thing that I grew up with, and just trying to be a better person. For it to come to this, to the end, and it's disappointment. Now maybe when I get a little bit older, but right now, the sacrifices that I made, I'm feeling a little. I don't even know the word for it, y'all. But I should have just lived my life. If I would have knew it would have turned out like this, I would have just lived my life.
If I would have known it would have turned out like this, I would have gave those kids to their father. And I know for a fact my daughter wouldn't be a nurse. She wouldn't have a house. She wouldn't have the latest car. My son wouldn't be a social worker, counselor, and a therapist. He wouldn't have his nice car, his nice place to live. If their father would have raised them, their whole life would have been a whole different story, baby. So they could go ahead and keep on trying to tear me down, telling me how I'm toxic. I'm not a good mother. That's my daughter. You know how girls are. She got a man, so you know how that works. Make me toxic because I want to follow Jesus Christ. Alcohol, that's a thing of the past. And I even said, even then, it wasn't about no alcohol. No, honey. I remember when I had stopped drinking for 7.5 years. Okay? And we was bumping heads. It wasn't no alcohol. Now I don't do alcohol. And guess what? It was never about the alcohol. It was about, you want to run the show. You want to try to act like you're my mother. You can't even mother your own kids, first of all. My son don't have a kid. He can't take care of a dog or a cat. How could you possibly mother me? I have more wisdom, knowledge, common sense, and check this out, more understanding in my pinky than they have in their whole existence, especially having a full understanding about things. That comes with age. That comes with wisdom. Fully understanding a lot of things about life. But you want to act like you can parent me? Are you serious?
Somebody help me understand. Does it get better later? Like, do these kids, and now mind you, I got teens, I got early 20 teens. Do they brain, like, do it click in at some point?
No.
Because, yeah, I can remember things when I was a teen and I was not a perfect child. But, I wasn't like this, and my upbringing was way worse. So, I'm just trying to make it make sense because the math ain't mathing. And I'm disappointed. I just want to talk.
I don't want you, parents, to keep stressing over these ungrateful adult children, especially when you know you did the best you can. When I had my children before I had them, I was married. I gave my virginity to my husband. I mean, come on. And I still ended up a single mother, doing the best that I could as a single mother. Of course, that wasn't what they talked. Yeah, we have. No, you don't. I don't care what your words say. I'm looking at the way you treat me. You want me to talk to you better? Treat me better. Treat me better.
So, Ray, what do you have to say about ungrateful adult kids? Oh, right. I know a lot of...
Buckle up.
Come on now.
Because it's like this. I want the parents out there to realize something. Y'all are losing sleep. Y'all stressed out behind stuff that you can't control. Once you raise a kid, once you put that kid through school, once you feed that kid, and you've done everything that you could possibly do for that kid, housed them, fed them, clothed them, done everything.
And keep in mind, I didn't have to do none of that. I have to stay black, I have to die, and I have to pay my goddamn taxes. I could have did like your daddy did. We could have all did like their runaway fathers did. My question is, why do you want to sit up here and abuse the one who stayed? Moms, give these kids to their father. Give them to their father. They're not going to appreciate you anyway.
And you know what? And then you still, through life as an adult, try to help that kid, and then they come back and say, they ain't never done nothing for me. You know what? Don't stress yourself behind that. Right. Because that's the devil playing on them kids.
That's right.
And that's wrong. You can't choose the route that your kid goes, or that adult kid, because they still a kid in the mind. You can't choose the way they go. You raise them up, and when they go their own path. Right. Don't blame yourself for that. Do not blame yourself for something that a disobedient kid is out there doing. A disobedient.
Hello. My children was raised with the Bible as a Christian. The Bible says, listen and obey. Not copy off of what you see this person doing. Listen and obey. And you wouldn't have gotten hurt the way you got hurt. You didn't listen to Jehovah. Don't want to listen to Jesus because you know more than them too. And you damn sure didn't listen to me. Had to be your mother and your father. And you got the nerve.
An adult that's supposed to be your kid that you raised up and birthed and done all of that stuff up. I'm going to tell you something. Don't let that play on you. Get your sleep, get your peace, and go to bed at night knowing I done everything that I can do and then some to help that child get through. Some of them, they don't appreciate it. They want to hand it to them. Or they want you to wipe their ass for them as an adult. Not gonna happen.
Validate me. Please validate me. I can't feel good about myself if you're not blowing smoke up my rectum. You got to give me words of affirmation. Don't ever come near me with the truth. Don't you ever tell me the truth.
And while they up there suffering as an adult, you got to let them have it. Because when the help was there, they misused, abused, and they want to cuss you out when things don't go their way. You got to let them hand them to God.
That's how
you got to hand them to God. And when life tear they butt up, because you know life is life and on them, you can't say nothing but, I gave you to God, baby. You didn't want to respect me. You wanted to listen to everybody else that ain't there for you, who don't even have your best interests at heart. Let them adult kids have it, because you don't owe them anything. So, Ray, what do you have to say about ungrateful adult kids? Oh, I know a lot of...
Buckle up.
Come on now.
Buckle
because
up.
It's like this.
Let's listen to what some mothers really hate about being a mother.
You know what I really hate about being a mother? Is that when your adult kids hurt your feelings, you're the one that's just supposed to get over it and just accept it and move on. When you're a mom, your feelings don't matter.
Thank you. That's all I was trying to get my kids to understand. You keep treating me like I'm a robot, like I don't have feelings. I'm not supposed to talk about what's on my mind, but you get to talk about any and everything on your mind. And don't tell me it's because I don't know how to speak to you. I speak to you the same way Jesus Christ would speak to you. And there was times when Jesus Christ had to raise up when he was speaking to those Pharisees because they was hard-headed. They didn't want to listen. So Jesus Christ had to become a little more assertive because they won't listen. And like she says, as a mother, you're not supposed to have feelings. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to feel. They could tell you you're no good. They could tell you you're toxic. They could tell you you don't have nothing nobody want. You don't have nothing nobody need. If you wasn't my mother, I wouldn't have nothing to do with you. Do you think those words are hurtful? They don't. They're supposed to be able to talk to you any old kind of way. And the moment you come out of pocket on them, they're ready to catch a hissy fit and talk about how rotten you are. What? Well, may I forever be rotten. And as for me being toxic, because I choose to follow Jesus instead of some man-made organization and bow down to the tower governing body, may I forever be toxic. Good.
And that sucks. That is all. You know what I really hate about being a mother? Is that when your adult kids hurt your feelings, you're the one that's just supposed to get over it and just accept it and move on. When you're a mom, your feelings don't matter.
Right.
And that sucks. That is all.
I hear you, girlfriend.
You know what?
I don't just hear you, I feel you. Here's more, my darlings.
Somebody needs to hear this right now, so I'm going to say it. Where your young adult is at right now, what they're doing, not doing, all the things they're not achieving, whatever it is that's going on, is not a direct result of your shitty parenting. Because it's entirely possible that you've done all the things and been exactly who they needed, and they just need to go through some shit that you don't want them to have to go through in order to become who they're meant to become. And your anxiety about how it's going to turn out is not only not helping, it's adding to the problem. So stop worrying about them and start taking care of yourself.
That's right.
Somebody needs to hear this right now, so I'm going to say it.
Honey, her words have never been more true. I don't worry about it. I don't get bent. I get hurt sometimes, like my daughter. She's always saying something out of her mouth to hurt me because she tries to tear me down. Because I don't want to be a part of some stupid, I already told you about all that nonsense. And as for my son, you know, he's talking to her more and more and getting all up in his ear. And I'm starting to feel like he's starting to take me for granted. You know? But me and my son, we've always been able to work through things. Right now, we're on the outs because No, you're not going to sit up here and tell me what I can say, what I can't say. I can't talk about Jesus. I can't talk about 55 years of my experience with this Jehovah Witness nonsense. You telling me don't demonize this organization? I don't demonize anyone. I speak the truth. They're the ones who demonize people. I don't even see my grandkids. My daughter raised my children, her children, not my grandkids. They're not even grandkids. She raised her children, teaching them that I am an apostate. You know, I left this organization. So that's demonizing me. So now they teach people to say that you're an apostate, and they demonize you so people won't listen to you. They don't want people to find out the truth about that organization. So now I got 2 grandkids that I don't even know nothing about these people. That's the way she raised them. And she thinks she's supposed to be blessed? Really? And don't you, like this beautiful lady said, don't sit up there and blame yourself when these kids don't turn out right. Because Jesus Christ put it in my heart. He said, Sheila, don't blame yourself. Keep remembering. Jacob and Esau, Cain and Abel. Both of them were raised in the same exact household. One turned out good, one turned out evil. Pure evil. Pure evil. So stop blaming yourself. Most of these kids' trauma that really hurt them and they can't get over is what a man did to them. That's pretty much it. That's the truth. But guess what? Guess who they're going to blame? It's you, Mom. It's always Mom. Here we have, stop allowing your adult children to abuse and use you. When your kids don't like you. Tell me something. Would you hang out with somebody who admitted to you that they don't like you? I know I'm not.
I don't know who needs this message, but you're going to get this message. If you wouldn't let a stranger or anybody else treat you like shit, dog you out, right, use you, abuse you, why would you allow your child to do that to you? And I'm not talking about no children, young children. I'm talking about older adult children. If they're treating you like shit, you got to let that go.
Yep.
You got to let that go. They don't like you. And whatever reason it is that they have in them that they don't like you, that's something that they're going to have to fix within themselves. Because if you know you did right by them, you're going to have to let that go. They don't like you. They don't like you. And if you think your own children can't fuck your life up, go look at some stories where kids done killed their own parents. Stop doing that, bro. Let it go. I don't know who needs this message.
And I'm going to close with that one, honey. When your kid tells you that I don't like you, you got to fall back, pray for them, leave them in Jesus' hand. Pray to Jehovah. Jehovah hands it to Jesus. It's in Jesus' hands now. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.